Mid-City, you have the infield for 10 minutes. camera crew out there on the field following things along, so they're doing a great job for us also. Give them a shout out. Folks, if you have contact with your family at home, let them know we are live streaming this ball game. LLIWS.org will get you onto the live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Livermore, California and Max Baer Park. On behalf of your host, California District 57, we are proud to present the 2018 Little League Intermediate World Series. Today's game features the visiting team representing the host, California District 57, Livermore Little League from Livermore, California. And the home team representing the Southwest from Mid-City Little League from Midland, Texas. Now I'd like you to help me introduce the umpire crew, the plate umpire and crew chief, Mr. Fred Temples. At first base, Mr. Brian Osborne. At second base, Mr. Jeremy Kotza. At third base, Mr. Jeff Wertz. On the left field line, Mr. Ron Coleman. And on the right field line, Mr. Brian Stair. And now for the players. From Livermore Little League. Number 10, Bobby Alvier. Number 4, Tyler Trudeau. Number 3, AJ Arante. Number 5, Denny Durham. Number 1, Drew Carty. Number 2, Tanner Griffith. Number 15, Andrew McKeever. Number 13, Jason Krakowski. Number 11, Bennett Johnston. Number 14, Jack Davis. Number 7, Carter March. Number 8, Colin Johnston. Number 12, Nate Keeney. And your manager, Steve Griffith. Coach, Mike Trudeau. Coach, Dan Johnston. And now the team, Mid-City Little League from Midland, Texas. Number 7, Dawson Bullard. Number 12, Jake Cunningham. Number 5, Marcos Davila. Number 19, Toby Kelk. Number 2, Jace Martinez.
Test, test. Test, test. Yeah, I can't. Test, 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 test. Now we hear me. Hello, me. This is the volume I'll hear Dave also. I mean, hear Rick also. But I mean, hear Rick. This will be the same. Just fine, right? Test, test.
All right, may I have a catcher from both teams come to the home plate area for the first pitch. Today we have two people doing their first pitch. Mayor John Marchand. John Marchand was elected mayor in 2011 and served on the Livermore City Council since 2005. John was born and raised in the Bay Area. He and his wife Susan, a Livermore teacher, have lived in Livermore for over 25 years and raised two sons in the community. Our other first pitch is Dave Finster. Dave Finster is the current president of the Livermore Stockmen's Rodeo Association. He is a fourth-generation Livermore native who played Little League Baseball on these fields in the early 1970s. While playing Babe Ruth baseball, he threw a no-hitter on the other Max Fair field. Dave, along with Kathleen Mincer, president of the Livermore Rodeo Foundation, are proud of the Livermore Western heritage in this community, and next year they lead Livermore Rodeo in celebrating their 100th year of the world's fastest rodeo. Gentlemen, whenever you're ready. I see two call strikes. Thank you.
Welcome back to Livermore, everyone. Getting ready for our featured game tonight, which features the host District 57 team from Livermore versus the Southwest Regional Champions from Midland, Texas, Mid-City Little League. Should be a great game tonight. We got a huge crowd on hand. Everybody's come out to support the local team. In addition, there's a big crowd from the Texas bunch. And it'll be an interesting game in the sense that Texas comes into this with a very high-powered offense, scoring a lot of runs in the regional, and against a Livermore team that wins primarily on pitching and defense, and something tonight's got to give. We'll come back in a second with the starting lineups. back in Livermore. I'm happy to be joined again by Mr. Ed Hugo. Ed, it's going to be a big night tonight. We've got a huge crowd on hand. What do you think about tonight's game?
Rick, this is the best crowd we've had in the last couple of years. It's going to be exciting. We'll see if the kids from Livermore can come through for us. It should be a great game.
And leading off for Livermore will be number 1, Drew Carty. Drew's playing right field tonight. It's a ball, and the count is 2-0.
These kids have been sitting around all day waiting for this opportunity, so there could be some butterflies in the stomachs.
Do it. And on the mound for Texas is number 2, Jace Martinez. It's lifted to the second base, lined out by Carty, and that's how the ball game starts, with a line out to second base, and that's going to bring to the plate Tanner Griffith.
Yeah, Martinez got that pitch in on his hands, and he wasn't really able to do much with it except that little looper to second base. Nice pitch by Martinez.
The Tanner Griffith stands in, left-handed batter. The ball inside.
Boy, Rick, I like how he crowds the plate. Now he's moved back just a little, but he was crowding the plate the first pitch.
That's a ball up and inside, and the count's 2-0.
Early in the game, don't know the other team, so the defense plays straight away.
That's lifted into right field. Should be a routine play for the right fielder. He's there and he makes the catch, and that's a second out of the inning.
So Livermore's coming out hacking. They're not taking many close pitches for strikes or balls. They're going right after it, and this has been their mode in the past.
It's going to bring to the plate number 11, Bennett Johnston, third baseman. So there's 2 outs and nobody on for the host team in the top of the first inning. That's lifted to center field. Long run for the center fielder. He's got it, and that's how the inning ends. So Livermore goes down quickly in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. We played 1/2 inning in Livermore. No score with Texas coming to bat. We're back in Livermore for the bottom of the first inning, our first opportunity to see the Southwest Regional Champions from Midland, Texas, Mid-City Little League. Very excited to finally get a chance to see these young men. Been hearing a lot about them. And leading off for them is going to be number 3, center fielder Andrew Prado. On the mound for Livermore is number 7, Carter March. Carter looks like, Ed, he's bringing it in pretty good at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to establish the fastball. We'll see on this 0-2 count where he goes. He should look at maybe throwing another high fastball. That was it, but he just didn't get it high enough. If you can see from home, the catcher was set up looking for the high fastball on that pitch, which is a good thing to do on 0-2 because batters are sometimes looking for that curveball on 0-2.
And the 0-2 pitch from March. That's lifted into right center field. Second baseman's out for it. He's got it. Great play by number 2. Tanner Griffith out there. Great play by second baseman.
He went back like a pro, and that was a very nice play because the right fielder, as soon as the ball was hit, he sort of froze, and there was no way he was going to get to that. Tyler made a very nice play for the first out.
That brings to the plate number 11, third baseman Christian Wiggins. He takes the ball inside, and the count 1-0.
Nice pitch by March. You should not be afraid to pitch inside. Very nice pitch for the 1-0 count.
It's fouled off to the right-hand side. You know, this team in their Southwest Regionals, Ed, outscored they played 4 games, I believe, and scored a total of 87 runs and allowed only 12. So they are on a pretty good roll right now. It's a foul ball. Great effort by the first baseman.
You get that kind of results, and you start to expect to win, and there's nothing better with a team than to expect to win. A lot of teams go into games hoping they win, but when you get a group of kids who expect to win, it's a lot easier.
Yep. So the 1-2 pitch on its way to Wiggins. The ball up and outside a little bit.
Livermore's displaying a very interesting defense. The first and second baseman are playing back, and the third baseman and shortstop are playing shallow for a right-handed batter. This is interesting.
Grounded to second base. It should be a routine play for Griffin. Dropped. Safe at first. So that play just took a little bit too long to develop, Ed, and it looked like it just got a little bit tight at the very end of it.
Right, the second baseman, because he was playing deep, the ball, 5 or 6 hops before he got to it, and by that time he had to shuffle the first and sort of buckled the first baseman's glove on that. Now batting, Mid-City Little League, number 2, Jace Martinez.
It's going to bring to the plate the third batter, number 2 pitcher Jace Martinez. Looked like a pitch out almost, but it went across the plate for a strike.
And Livermore is continuing to have the same defense where the second baseman is playing way over between first and second. He's in no position to try to turn a double play, but they believe they're not going to be able to get around on this pitcher. So they're basically moving the infield and the outfield. The center fielder is playing over towards right center, and the right fielder is playing right down the right field line. So they're expecting this team not to get around on their pitcher, Carter March.
There's a strike. Stolen base by Wiggins. And now, for the first time in the game, the Southwest champs have a runner in scoring position. So there's 1 out and an 0-2 count on Jace Martinez. Well, Well, looks like Livermore's got the right idea anyways. I haven't seen the Texas team pull a ball yet. Everything's been hit to the right side.
It's funny, they've never seen this team before at all, but looks like they've scouted them well. But I know they've never seen them play before.
Who knows? Maybe the manager flew down to Colorado and watched them play in the regionals.
Some managers will just do anything.
It's fouled off to the right.
By that time, the shortstop had broken in behind the base runner for a pickoff move, and the pitcher came to the plate, leaving the entire shortstop area vacated.
And the count is still 0-2 to Jace Martinez. That ball gets away, and it's going to advance the runner down to third base. And now, so Texas is in business with a runner at third and one out.
Boy, now there's several ways to get that runner in. If he's still at second base, you probably need a base hit. Now, a hit, an error, a long fly ball. They're playing the infield back, so a routine ground ball will get this first run across the plate.
Swung on and missed. It's a big strikeout there for March. And that's the second out of the inning. That's going to bring to the plate the left fielder, number 12, Jake Cunningham.
Well, that was the epitome of the old high hard one. He just let it fly, and Martinez just could not catch up with that one.
Dangerous hitter at the plate, number 4 batter. He's late on that. Throw down to third, back in. So Texas is definitely a little bit tardy on their approaches here, Ed, at least early.
Yeah, and the outfield's playing this batter with a lot of respect. They're quite deep, having never seen him hit before.
Another swing and a miss, and now it's quickly 0-2 to the number 4 hitter, Jake Cunningham. And here comes the 0-2 by March. Up and away, great pitch on an 0-2, good waist pitch.
I like what they're doing, Rick. They're going high and hard on 0-2. They're not going the off-speed stuff. I don't know if he's thrown an off-speed pitch yet. I don't remember seeing one.
I'm not sure I would throw one.
No, not at all. Right at him.
Yeah, they have a good approach. There's no question about that. But you've got to get at this level, Ed, you have to have a pitcher that has very good command of the strike zone to be able to do that. And not all of them do. So Carter March definitely falls into the category of being able to do it, and he gets another high strikeout, and that's the end of the inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on at third base. So after 1 complete out here in Livermore, no score. Okay, we're back in Livermore. Top of the second inning for the host team. And leading off is Jake Krakowski. He takes a strike. Ball 1-1.
Well, that's a nice pitch by Jace Martinez. Had him off stride for the second strike. And another off-speed pitch for a called strike 3. Very nice job of pitching by Jace Martinez for the first out of the inning.
So Krakowski goes down on strikes, and that's going to bring to the plate the pitcher, number 7, Carter March. That's a looper, and that's in for a hit, and that's the first hit of the game for District 57.
Rick, that's a line drive in the scorebook, and those are the kind of hits that drive pitchers and coaches nuts.
That's going to bring to the plate number 12, left fielder Nate Keeney. So Livermore gets their first runner on. And there's one out with the runner at first base.
It'll be interesting to see how, well, there's one out, but see how aggressive Livermore might be to try to get that runner in scoring position.
There's a strike.
You know, like watching these games today, I've watched two of the three games have been played. The leads on first base are not very aggressive. I haven't seen much stealing at all today.
I agree. And as you mentioned, there's a stolen base. So Carter March steals second base.
You knew that had to happen right then.
Yep. And, you know, he didn't even really get a big lead on that. But he timed his jump very well. So now Livermore's got a runner at second base with only one out. Looking to try to take the lead here in the second inning. That's lined into right field, right at the outfielder, and that's positioned perfectly. The second out of the inning on a line out to right field.
McKinney nailed that. It was a nice line drive hit. He can't feel bad about that. He just hit it right to the left field.
It's going to bring to the plate number 10, the shortstop, Bobby Alvear. Ball gets away from the catcher, and that's going to allow March to advance to third base, where he will reside with 2 outs.
That's a big 70 feet because now it just takes a base hit or a mistake by the defense, and Livermore will plate the first run.
Alvear.
Rick, Jace Martinez just proved to me he's a pitcher. That was a 2-0 count. He threw an off-speed pitch. That's a sign of a pitcher, not just a thrower. I'm very impressed.
However, the count now is 3-0 to Alvear. And that's ball 4. So on 4 pitches, Alvear walks.
This brings up an interesting first and third situation. You've got 2 outs, so Livermore needs to make a decision. Do we send the runner at first base? And Mid-City needs to make the decision. Do we try to throw that runner out and potentially give up the first run of the game? Right. Should be interesting.
It's going to bring to the plate with 2 outs, number 5, Denny Durham, the catcher. So big spot for Durham here, trying to get his team on the board and get the lead early in this game. There's a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch by Martinez. Painted the outside corner with a fastball, and the count is 0-1.
Third base coach went through a litany of signs. We'll see if the runner first base is going on this pitch.
There he goes. Ball's grounded. Foul.
Rick, That would have been interesting if that stayed fair, because I'm not sure the home plate umpire was so distinctive in his call to say that was a foul ball.
And now he does steal. Alviar does take second base, and now runners at second and third with 2 outs. And the count is 1-2 on the number 8 hitter, Denny Durham. It's a ball up, and the count is now 2-2. It's grounded to short. It's going to be a tough play. Throw to first. Got him. Great play by the shortstop. And that's how the inning ends. For Livermore, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. We played 1.5 in Livermore, the host team, and the Southwest Regional champs are scoreless. Back in a minute. Back in Livermore for the bottom of the second inning. We have no score in this game. And leading off for Texas is the shortstop, Dax Patton. Dax Patton had a huge regional down in Colorado where he was almost impossible to retire. See if he can keep that mojo going in this week out here in Livermore.
The outfield's still paying a lot of respect to the hitters from mid-city. They're playing quite deep all around, especially the center fielder.
Ball's lifted. Foul off to the right.
Again, a ball hit to the right side, Rick. Again, in the Livermore defense, the shortstop, third baseman are playing middle to in, and the second baseman and first baseman are playing back.
It's just constant balls to the right side. Now, I would expect that a second time through the order, Texas is going to make some adjustments.
Well, you'd
if
hope
they
so.
can.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Whether it's get a little bit further back in the box or closer to the plate, I'm not sure what they'll try to do.
That's going to run the count to full 3-2 to the leadoff man, Dax Patton. a shot up the middle, base hit by Patton. Boy, that was a bullet. Texas has the leadoff man on in the second inning.
Boy, that was the epitome of almost a perfect hit. Timed right back up the middle. Nice line drive. After seeing the couple 3 pitches, once you see 3 or 4 pitches the same speed, that next pitch becomes easier and easier to hit.
Yeah, that was a good adjustment by Patton. And that's going to bring to the plate number 5, Marcus Davila, second baseman. Sorry, Ed. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch.
That was painting the corner. That was beautiful. That was pretty.
Patton takes his lead at first. Doesn't go, and that's fouled off. And Davila is quickly in the hole, 0-2. So March is in the stretch again, and doesn't look like he loses any velocity at all there. Ed?
Davila had a nice cut at that pitch. I wouldn't be surprised they come in. They're going to go the high fastball outside.
Runner goes. That ball is lifted down the line in right field. That's going to go out of play.
The catcher wanted that up and out, and it came right down the middle. And Davila just missed it a little bit late.
That was a stinger on Davila's hand. He's trying to work it off. Marchais looks in for the 0-2. That's fouled off.
Well, Dax Patton's getting some good exercise out there at first base. He's running the last couple of pitches. You'd think that Livermore would think of maybe a pitch out on this pitch to try to throw him out at second base. We'll see what happens.
There's a ball that's down. That looked good, but across the plate, but umpire thought it was down, so now the count is 1-2.
That was a really nice 0-2 pitch. I always try to teach pitchers, miss by a little, don't miss by a lot. There's no such thing as a waste pitch. And that was a really, really nice pitch by March.
He thought he had it. That ball has hit the left field pretty well, but right at the left fielder. And that's the first out of the inning. Patton goes back to first base. That's going to bring to the plate number 18, left fielder Eli Price. Eli's a big boy, Ed. Standing up there, probably close to 6 foot almost.
Yeah, a lot of these kids I can look eye to eye to, and I'm 6'1". It's
Right.
incredible how tall they can get at this young age.
Runner goes, got a great jump, and he's in at second base with a with a steal. That's Dax Patton. Now at second base with 1 out.
Well, Rick, that was old style. The batter swung and missed at the pitch. I remember when I was playing Little League, whenever somebody was going to steal, you'd always swing and miss at the pitch to try to divert the catcher's eyes. So that was old school right there. I'm impressed.
Patton gets a lead now at second. Shortstop's creeping over, and here's the pitch. That's swung on and missed. And Price is quite late on that March fastball.
Another high and a little bit outside ball that is right there at your eyesight. So easy to hit, you think, but very hard to hit.
Fouled off. Good cut there by Price.
That one was right down the middle. If he's going to hit one, that was the one, and he missed it. So we'll see what comes next. I'm still looking for March to start throwing some off speed, but maybe that's the second time through the lineup. Maybe that's the strategy to get the batters out the next time through.
That's dribbled to second base. That's going to get the runner over. And the out is recorded at first base, so Patton goes to third base. Now there's 2 outs. Good pitching by Carter March. Threw it in on the hands of the batter, and he just hit a dribbler to the right side, and that's going to bring to the plate first baseman, number 21, Josh Reed.
With 2 outs now, it'll take a base hit or a mistake by the Livermore team to get that runner in from third base to plate the first run of the game.
The count is 2-1 to Josh Reed. Dax Patton's down at third base. Carter March on the full windup now. Ball outside. The count is 3-1.
I love it. Dax Patton at third base since March is into his windup. He's getting about a 30 or foot or so lead, and he's trying to distract March on the mound. March is doing a good job of just focusing on the plate.
Well, he's got 2 outs. He focuses on the batter like he should. There's nothing to worry about with the runner at third. Now the count is 3-2 to the number 8 hitter, Josh Reed.
And Josh pulled off a bit on that. If this pitch comes on the outside part of the plate, it's going to be tough to hit.
Strike 3 is called. And that's how the inning ends. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We played 2 complete in Livermore. No score. Good play by the shortstop from Texas as we've got into the top of the third inning. And that's one out now for the host team.
Now batting.
It's going to bring to the plate the top of the order,
Cardi.
Drew Carty.
And Rick, it'll be interesting to see how the batters on both teams adjust to the pitchers as they go through the second time in the lineup.
That's grounded to second base. That should be a routine play, and it is, and that's a second out of the inning. So a couple of quick outs for Jace Martinez, and that's going to bring to the plate number 2, Tanner Griffin.
Number 2.
And Martinez had an 8-pitch first inning, and now he's trying to even best that here in the third inning.
Griffith flied out to right field his first at bat. It's a check swing, and it's called strike. The count is 0-1. We got a huge crowd out here tonight, Ed. Look at the outfield.
Yeah, this is really a nice sight to see. I remember the first year we had crowds like this, and then we had, one of our local teams won a couple of games, and it was overflowing. This is a really nice sight.
There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count is now 1-2. Inside, almost hit him. Counts 2-2. Again, we're in the top of the third inning with 2 outs and nobody on. It's a swing, the ball gets away, and it looks like Tanner's going to reach first base. So with 2 outs, now we have a runner at first base, and it's going to bring to the plate number 11, Bennett Johnston.
You know, Rick, I think that's the first time I've seen that happen today. So the pitchers and catchers have been pretty much in sync. The catchers here that I've seen are displaying some incredibly well-timed and well-schooled mechanics to keep that ball in front of them, not give up the free 70 feet, which can happen easily because the pitchers, even though they're trying to throw the ball to a certain spot at this age and at this level of maturity in their pitching lives, it's tough. It's tough to throw the ball where you want it to go.
Now batting, number 8, Colin Johnston.
And that was a great pickoff move by Jace Martinez, and that's how the inning ends.
The score remains 0-0.
And after 2.5 innings, there's still no score in Livermore. Back in a moment.
Now batting, number 7.
Okay, leading off for Southwest in the bottom of the third inning is the catcher, number 7, Dawson Bullard. This is Dawson's first plate appearance tonight. And the Texas fans are rooting him on to get something going for Texas side. There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count is now 0-2.
March continues to paint the outside corner. That was a beautiful pitch.
There's a chopper to second base. Should be routine for Griffith, and it is. It's first out of the inning.
Here we go back to the top of the order, Rick. Again, we'll see if there are any adjustments made on behalf of the team from Mid-City Little League.
That's correct. We'll see if they can start getting around a little bit better on Carter March. Doesn't always work out like that. And Andrew Prado, center fielder, number 3, steps in.
You know, Rick, we're approaching the 50 pitch limit. Not limit, but the 50 pitch level. Will be interesting to see this, how long both teams go with their starting pitchers, because they have more baseball to play this week.
Fakes the bunt, takes a ball. Count is 2-0. Prado flied out to the second baseman his first time up. Up to this point, Texas only has 1 base hit in the game. That was by Dax Patton. There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count is now 2-1.
The 3-1 count now. We'll see what March comes back with. I would believe we'll probably see a fastball right here.
Have we seen anything but a fastball?
No, I think we'll see a fastball. Make him hit the ball. Don't walk him.
It's a strike on the outside corner. Nope. Ball 4. Sorry, my mistake. Looked like he was going to call a strike. And it's ball 4.
Rick, I think he wanted to. That right arm came about halfway up, and then he decided to put it down and give the batter ball 4.
It's going to bring to the plate second place hitter, number 11, Christian Wiggins, third baseman. He reached on an error the first time up. A ball that was bobbled. Got all the way to third base where he was stranded.
Well, we got the leadoff man at first, the leadoff man in the order, so maybe we'll see some base running here.
Prado takes a pretty good lead, doesn't go. There's a strike called.
Rick, that was interesting. The base runner's first move was back to first on that. You could see that he was probably going to go. And something in the pitcher's move made him think he was going to move to first, but he came to the plate for strike 1.
Strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-2 quickly.
Well, Rick, I could probably take both hands and probably some of my toes to count the number of times that March has been able to paint the corner with his fastball.
Yeah, he's impressive. Runner goes, grounded to third base. The only play is going to be at first. Throws across. Runner from second goes to third. Safe at third. Great base running and very good execution defensively by the Livermore team. And they almost got him thrown out at third base. So very good baseball all the way around on that one, Ed.
Absolutely. It was a close play at third, and the first thing I looked for was the left fielder, and the left fielder came charging in. Nate Keeney came charging in to back up the play just in case there was an overthrow. So good execution all around. I think there was some bumps and bruises with the runner and the third baseman on that one, but nice play all around.
It's going to bring to the plate Jace Martinez. Jace struck out his first time up. It's shot grounded foul.
Here's where maybe a little baseball strategy comes into place, because we've got the number 3 hitter, by definition their best hitter, up with a base open and 2 outs. So we'll see how March goes after the batter.
Well, by that logic, although I don't disagree with you, you'd be bringing up the cleanup hitter after that. So there would be some danger in that, right?
That's true.
Swing and a miss. Big swing there by Martinez.
Rick, I just took a quick look at your score sheet, and he struck out both Martinez and the on-deck batter Cunningham in the first inning, so he'll probably go right after this batter.
Well, the count now is 1-2 with 2 outs. A runner at third base for Texas, looking for their first run tonight. Great block by the catcher, and he throws down, and that's going to allow him to score. Wow. He made a great block. The runner was off the base. He threw from his knees down to third base, and the runner at third bolted for the plate and beat the throw from the third baseman back to the catcher. That was a great play, too.
That was a very experienced base running play and a 2-out mistake by the catcher.
Well, so that gets the Texas team on the board, 1-0. And it's 2-2 with 2 outs and bases empty. And that's popped up. Maybe behind the plate. Out of play. You know, that was just a great effort play, though, by the catcher. I'm not going to really blame that on him too much. You know, they're taught to throw down to the bases when a runner is drifted off a little bit too much, but I'm going to give all the credit to that to the base runner. He really sensed that out.
He stole a run.
That's exactly what he did.
It was a very, very heads-up play by him with 2 outs. Basically, you have nothing to lose. If he gets thrown out at third base, then you open the next inning with the number 3 batter.
Yep.
Up again with a fresh count. So
that's right.
They had nothing to lose on that play.
Give a little credit to the coach down there at third base as well. That's a shot into center field. That's going to be a base hit. So good piece of hitting by Martinez. Slips around first base, but gets up and gets back to the bag. Nice hit for him, and that's going to bring to the plate the cleanup hitter, left fielder number 12, Jake Cunningham. Cunningham struck out his first time as well. So it does look like the Texas team has made some adjustments to March a little bit. They're getting some clean contact on him, and they're starting to pull the ball a little bit, Ed. Ball outside. There's a strike. Stolen base by Martinez. Great throw by the catcher.
That was a strike by the catcher. That was excellent.
Cunningham looks like a very strong young boy. Looks like he's got a lot of power in him. Swing and a miss.
Rick, I'd like to see where one of those balls would go if he would connect. He's had some really nice swings at some high fastballs. He just hasn't made the solid connection yet.
Well, he's down on the count now 0-2, so March has him where he wants him. And the 0-2 on its way. Ball up. Great location.
Yep, the high fastball again, great take. Those are hard to take when you're a young ball player because that ball's right up near your shoulders. You can see it really, really well. But it's really hard to get the bat out and around a ball up and your letters and shoulders.
It's fouled off. March looks in for the 1-2. Ball outside, gets away from the catcher, and that's going to allow Martinez to advance to third base, where he will be there with 2 outs.
It's deja vu all over again, Rick. We've got a runner on third base, 2 outs. We'll see if they try to steal another run.
March is 1 pitch away from getting out of this. The ball outside.
Again, they're taking incredibly aggressive leads at third base with the pitcher going to a full windup.
And I think now he's going to go to the stretch again.
I think he's seen that one too many times. He's in the stretch. He'll cut the lead down. Instead of 30 feet, it'll be about 10 feet.
Ball low. The count is now 3-2. Nope, I'm sorry, that's ball 4. So Cunningham draws a walk. That's first and third now for Texas. It's going to bring to the plate shortstop, number 1, Dax Patton.
Number 1.
Dax got the first hit of the night for Texas with a solid single right back up the middle. I don't foresee Cunningham being a threat to run at first base, but you never know.
In these kinds of situations, when I was coaching, if we got to 2 strikes, I'd have the runner at third base do something interesting, like taking off when the pitcher's in their stretch to see if you get the pitcher to balk or to get into a rundown to try to get that runner home from third base.
Right.
We'll see what happens. This could be fun.
Runner does go. And that's fouled off. And he'll return to first base.
Cunningham looks like he's got some good legs out there. He had some good speed going to second base, so we'll see what happens on this pitch.
So 1 strike on Dax Patton. Runners at first and third. Let's see if Cunningham goes on this pitch. He does. Shot to second base. Griffith, great play. And that's going to retire the side. So Texas gets on the board through 3 innings. Mid-City Little League 1, Livermore nothing. Back in a minute.
Livermore Little League 0, Mid-City Little League 1.
Welcome back to Max Bear, everybody. We've reached the top of the 4th inning with the host team batting, and leading off is the 3rd batter, number 8, Colin Johnston.
Rick, we'll see if Livermore can answer.
It's grounded to third. Nice pickup by the third baseman. Scooped out, got him. Good play.
That was a do-or-die play by the third baseman. Nothing he could do but short hop, and he made a very nice play. First base made a nice scoop at first base. Great play all around by the defense from Mid-City.
Next up for Livermore is going to be number 13, Jake Krakowski. He struck out his first time up. The ball on the outside corner. It's grounded to short. Patton's up with it, throws to first.
That's great hustle. Absolutely great hustle by Krakowski. He thought he had it, but that was a probably good call by the umpire, but great hustle all the way down the line. That's a good ball player there.
And that's going to bring to the plate the pitcher, Carter March. Carter March has the only hit for the host team in this game. Swung on a miss. What a great breaking ball there by Martinez. That's popped up behind the plate. Looks like it's going to go out of play. Count is quickly 0-2.
Here we go, Rick, with another quick inning, potentially for Martinez. It looks like he's going to complete a nice shutdown inning after his team got him that run last inning.
He's only at 40 pitches, right, Ed?
Yeah, that's pitch 41, and we're in the fourth inning. That's a little over 10 pitches an inning. That's excellent. Absolutely excellent for this level of baseball.
Yeah, you got to think the manager, Cesar Davila, is really happy with that. That's a line shot. Fair ball down the left field line. March is going to go for two. He slides in. He's got it. That's a double.
Boy, he got that on nothing but speed and hustle. That was a great job. That ball was inside, brought his hands into his body, turned on it, put it right down the left field line, and hustled all the way to second base to put himself in scoring position with 2 outs.
So March is 2 for 2 in this game. Now that's going to bring to the plate number 12, Nate Keeney, left fielder. Keeney flew out to right field his first time up. And so the team from Granada Livermore Little League has an opportunity now with a base hit to maybe tie this game up. And that's a line down the right field line out of play. This, to this point, Ed, has been a great ball game.
Absolutely, Rick. This is the one we've been looking for all day. I love one-run games at this level of baseball.
That's why we put this game at 6 o'clock.
Not a baby.
That ball's up, and the count is 1-1.
I knew you scheduled me for this game for a reason. I really appreciate it.
Texas team is failing to hold on, and that's grounded back up the middle. Martinez throws him out at first, and that's how the inning ends.
Nice play by Martinez. He knocked the ball down, kept his cool. Knew he had plenty of time to make the play at first and throw a strike to the first baseman in the final out of the inning.
And that ends the inning for the host team. And after 3.5 innings, the score is 1-0 Southwest. Back in a moment. All right, folks, we're back in Livermore. And for the Texas team, they will be leading off with number 5, Marcus Davila. Marcos flew out to left field his first time at bat.
Rick, interesting strategy for the team from Livermore. They've left their starting pitcher out there now. He's at 70 pitches, so at this point, he'll have to take 4 days off before he can throw again, which is next Friday. which is an off day between the semifinals and the finals, which will be played on Saturday.
It's lifted to the right side. Looks like the first baseman might make a play on it. It's out of play, just out of play.
There's no tougher play in Little League at this level and the younger levels than that pop-up down the first or third baseline for the first or third baseman. Those are tough plays, as tough as a catcher trying to catch a pop-up. Although the boys that do it a lot make it look real easy, and the pros make it look exceptionally easy.
And now the 1-1 to Davila. Strike right down the middle. Hard fastball. Not sure Marcus is going to see a better pitch than that, Ed. And that's a swinging strike 3. So Davila goes down swinging. And that's going to bring to the plate left fielder, number 18. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to have a substitute.
19.
It's going to bring to the plate a substitute batter, number 19, Toby Delk, for his first plate appearance of the World Series.
You know, the last batter, I think they saw him stepping out a little bit on the swing, and they threw a nice pitch outside, and he had no chance to hit that ball.
The strike on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. So March is determined to go through this part of the lineup as quickly as possible and get his team back in the dugout and try to even this game up offensively. Counts 1-2 to Delk. A ball outside. Ball inside. And the count is now full, 3-2. Chopper, going to be a fair ball. And they're just too tough of a play for both March and the catcher. They were almost on a collision course to try to get that, and that allowed Delk to reach first base. It's an infield hit.
The old swing and bunt, Rick.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do about it. You can get frustrated, get mad, but there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. The pitcher and the catcher did everything they could in order to try to make that play, but it was hit absolutely in the perfect spot.
Yeah, so I know March is a little bit frustrated with that. Felt like he should have been able to get that batter out, and it's going to bring to the plate number 21, the first baseman, Josh Reed. Reed struck out his first time at bat. On deck for Texas is Dawson Bullard, number 7. Reed is the number 8 hitter in the lineup. And Texas now has a runner at first base with 1 out. And Carter March, more importantly, has reached 80 pitches. So Ed, he can go 15 more pitches. Runner goes. Throw down to second base. Close play. Good throw by the catcher.
Another great throw by Denny Durham. Wow. This is, Rick, I tell you, this is just an incredible game. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. We've only had 1 run scored. It's a barn burner. This is absolutely terrific.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the catcher for the host team. He's a good ball player. That ball misses outside, and the count is now 2-1.
Again, there's a batter who is stepping out a bit as he takes his stride to the pitcher. He's stepping more towards first base, so if the pitcher, March, can throw that outside fastball, mid to outside fastball, the batter's going to have a tough time hitting it because he's, as we call it, bailing a bit.
He really crowds the plate, though, too. I know you like that.
That back foot, he starts with it both feet right on the line, and that front, and then he starts stepping back a bit as he gets set.
Yeah. So the 2-1 is on its way. Batter calls time, steps out.
You know, Rick, what you want is a lefty to tuck that front shoulder in. And there are 5 zones in the outfield. We want him to hit the zone 2, which is left center. We want him to tuck that front shoulder in and drive the ball over the shortstop's head.
It's a ball outside.
Hey, March could be tiring. He's thrown 83 pitches. It's not hot tonight. The weather here is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely incredible today. We've had mid-upper 80s, maybe a low 90. We're probably down in the low 80s right now. But he could be tiring. He's thrown 83 pitches in a little over, not quite 4 innings yet.
Swing and a miss. That's a good pitch by March. And the count is full. March is trying to come back and retire this Texas team without any further damage and give his team a chance.
But Rick, you can feel the energy on both sides. Every pitch now is becoming important.
Runner goes to third, throws from his knees. Ball 4.
And that was a case of March losing a little bit of concentration. The runner at second base got a very good jump on that and was able to steal third to make this now a first and third situation with 1 out. And the coach is going to come out and talk to his pitcher. Maybe we've seen the end. We'll see. But again, Rick, this has been an absolutely incredible ball game.
Yeah, it really has. It's been very, very well played up to this point. I don't think Mike Trudeau, the coach, is going to make a change here. He could. He just realizes that this is a very important part of the ball game, and he needs to maybe go out and settle his pitcher down a little bit.
And that's not a bad idea, Rick. We're dealing with a young 13-year-old pitcher, and it can be very emotional out there because we've got how many people here? There are hundreds, if not a couple thousand people here watching him pitch, and every time he throws the ball, everybody's watching him. And that can be a little bit unnerving. So far, he's done a really nice job. We'll see if he can get through the rest of this inning.
Yeah, I can guarantee he has never pitched in this environment before, but he's doing a great job up to this point. He's only allowed 1 run to this high-powered Texas team, and now coming to the plate is number 7, Dawson Bullard. He's the catcher. So there's 1 out, runners at first and third. Runner from first goes, ground ball, great play by Bullard.
The pitcher had to play at the plate. The runner was coming, and he didn't even look at the runner. He turned and threw to first base. Either he thought too much or didn't think at all, I'm not sure. But he would have had that base runner out at the plate easily had he looked and known where the play was. Because the first play when it's a 1-0 game is to not allow that team to score that second run.
Right.
And even if the runner had gone back to third and they had bases loaded, it's better than having that second run in at this point.
That was an instinct play. So Texas plates another run, and now they're up 2-0. There's 2 outs with a runner at second base now.
And sometimes, no offense, I'm not saying anything bad about the coach. Sometimes when the coaches come out and talk, the players will get, maybe the pitcher will get maybe a little bit too much information in his mind. He starts thinking things through a little bit too much rather than just reacting to the play. Because that was definitely a reaction play, and he reacted to throw to first. And I think maybe he had forgotten that he had a base runner at third base. Maybe he forgot that there was only 1 out. I'm not sure.
Well, in his case, not the end of the world. It's just another run, and they're only down 2-0 at this point. His job right now, obviously, is to keep that runner at second from scoring. There's 2 outs. And the leadoff man, Andrew Prado, is at the plate. Prado has flied out to second base, walked, and scored in the 3rd inning. He scored the first run of the game. It's a ball that's in the dirt, and that allows the runner to get to third base.
Nice jump by the base runner. He anticipated that ball in the dirt, and as soon as it was down, he took off and got there without a throw.
So March needs to buckle down here a little bit. The count's 2-1.
You know, Rick, this would be a great place for a drag bunt.
It's a swinging strike. Ball out, hit left field along the left field line.
This is the fourth game today, and I don't think I haven't seen any bunts. Bunting at this level of baseball is an incredible weapon because most teams don't spend any time defending a bunt in practice.
Ball outside. March is getting a little frustrated out there.
And that ball was probably 6 inches outside.
Yeah.
So he is probably frustrated with
Himself.
the play when he threw the runner out at first rather than trying to get the man at home plate. He just needs to relax and take a deep breath and get this batter out.
He's up to 91 pitches now, so he doesn't have much long for this game. There's a ground ball to second base. That should be routine for Griffin. Good play by him. That ends the inning, but Texas gets one more run on one hit. No errors and one runner left on after 4 complete. Southwest Regional champs from Texas lead the host team 2-0. Back in a minute. All right, we're back in Livermore for the top of the 5th inning. The Southwest team leading the host team 2-0, and leading off in the 5th inning for the host is going to be Jack Davis. Jack's first plate appearance in the World Series.
Oh, nice shot.
It's a ball in the gap. And welcome to the World Series, Mr. Davis. How do you do?
You're probably wondering why he's been on the bench all night. That was a really nice hit. Hey, Rick, I'd like to give a shout out to my wife and my daughter and my daughter's 3 children, Sophia, Jackson, Chloe. I know they're driving back from Disneyland. Guys, I know you're picking this up on the live stream. Thanks for checking in. I hope to see you home real soon.
That's going to bring to the plate number 11, Bennett Johnston, for his first plate appearance. So the host team has something going here now. With a runner at first base, nobody out. Ball got away from the catcher, but not quite far enough for the runner to advance, and he was almost caught flat-footed going back to first base. So the count is 1-0 to Bennett Johnston. The base hit up the middle. And the host team from Livermore has their first 2 runners on. Both substitute batters have come in and smoked singles.
And here we go, Rick. We've got a pinch hitter coming up, Andrew McKeever. We'll see if they'll bunt. Get him to second, third with 1 out. Bring the top of the order up and see what they can do. It'll be interesting to see. Now you start coaching. This is where you get paid the big bucks.
Well, the first 2 guys got up. hit solid singles, so they might just be trying to keep that going. Oh, he did try to bunt. And that was not called a strike.
You know, Rick, if you're going to sacrifice bunt, which I think he is, you need to bunt the ball, get the ball down, and then you run. He looked like he was trying to bunt and run at the same time.
Yeah, bunt for a single or something.
They don't need a single. They need to get those runners to second and third with one out.
McKeever tried to call time. The umpire wouldn't give it to him. And then he had to square around and try to bunt. He got a piece of it, but he fouled it off, and now the count's 1-1.
And if you're a pitcher, what you want to do now is throw high fastballs, because the curveball is much easier to bunt than a fastball. And you throw it up high, it's a good chance the batter will either pop it up, foul, or miss it, or pop it up to an infielder, which could result in a double play. So we'll see what Martinez has up his sleeve.
Third baseman is keeping an eye on the runner at second base. Shortstop is trying to keep him close. There's a great bunt.
Nice.
What a beautiful bunt.
Oh, he wanted to beat it out.
Third baseman.
Oh, third baseman gave up on the play. He still had the runner at first base.
Looked like he slipped a little bit.
McGeever was chugging down to first base as quickly as he could. He's a man with a big smile on his face at first base right now. I don't think he expected to beat that out. But what a tremendous bunt. I tell you, Rick, bunting is an incredible weapon at this level of baseball. Teams don't practice defending bunts, and it showed right there. So now we've got Livermore with the bases loaded, nobody out, top of the fifth inning. Again, this is an incredible game. It's wonderful. I'm glad we're all here. This is the crowd is energized by the turnaround here. We'll see if Livermore can capitalize on this opportunity.
Well, Cesar Davila is out to talk to his infield. It looks like he's not going to be making a pitching change at this point. He just wants to talk some strategy. Try to settle his team down a little bit. Situation is this. The host team has bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the fifth inning. This could be a turning point in the game. Everybody realizes it. Texas leads 2-0.
It's interesting how sometimes, Rick, a game is turned around by the bottom end of the order. Here the 7, 8, and 9 batters have reached base on 2 line drive singles and a bunt single to bring up the top of the order.
So stepping in is Drew Carty, the right fielder. He's flied out to second base and grounded out to second base. Corners are in. It's a strike called on the outside corner.
Well, that was a pitcher's strike right there, as Mike Krukow would say.
Well, the count is 0-1.
It's interesting, they're playing the infield in at third and first, the infield back at short and second, but the second baseman is so far from second base, I'm not sure they can turn a double play on a ground ball.
There's a ball. High. The count is 1-1.
In the outfield, left fielder's playing about right, I think. The center and right fielder are playing awful deep.
There's a strike. The count is 1-2. So Carty needs to put the ball in play. A ball up the middle is going to play to run. Texas is playing their middle infielders back and their corners are up. It's fouled off.
Wow, that was a great job. Absolutely terrific job by Carty to save this at bat. That pitch was right on the outside corner, moving away from him, and he got his bat out there and tipped it, fouled it off to get another life.
Here comes the 1-2 on its way. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring to the plate second baseman, number 2, Tanner Griffith.
You know, Rick, I'm wondering if these top batters, usually they're the best bat handlers and probably the best bunters on the team, but they might be, they might not be. But if this would not have been a good place to try to throw, maybe now they'll do it to try to throw down a squeeze bunt. We'll see. I don't know. I think they're going to have him hit now with one out.
Griffith flied out to the right fielder and then reached on a swinging third strike pass ball in the third inning, but was stranded at first. Big opportunity here for the host team. Ball inside.
Good pitch, good take.
It's a ground ball up the middle. This could be two.
There's your double play.
So what a huge opportunity lost by the host team. Great defense by Texas. And we've completed 4.5 innings with Texas leading the host 2-0.
For a second there when he got up, I thought maybe he was hurt, but I think it was just the base became dislodged. Yeah, he's okay.
It's grounded to third base. Long throw by the shortstop. Great throw. Got him. Great play.
And the first baseman did exactly what you want him to do in a play like that. As soon as he made the out, he didn't do it, didn't throw the ball back to the pitcher. He ran towards the pitcher with the ball to make sure the runner at third base stayed there and didn't try to score. Good play by the first baseman. Excellent throw by the shortstop. Very nice play defensively by Livermore.
That's going to bring to the plate Dax Patton. Patton got the first hit of the game for Texas in the second inning and grounded out to second base hard in the third inning. So he's hit the ball hard both times tonight. A big swing and a miss.
Well, that's a nice off-speed pitch. That looks so tantalizing coming to the plate. And it dropped off a cliff right at the end. And batter couldn't hit it. Dax Patton could not hold the bat back.
Pickoff attempt at third base almost got the runner. Carter March, the starting pitcher for the host team, is now playing third base. So there's 2 outs with a strike on the batter and a runner at third base for the Mid-City Little League champs. The ball up and away, and the count is 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Off speed, misses high, and the count is now 2-1. Very dangerous hitter at the plate, Dax Patton. There's a ball up, and the count is now 3-1. I really, as a coach or anybody involved in that host team, I wouldn't really have a problem with pitching around this kid.
No, not at all. I would think ball 4 is coming right now. I wouldn't throw anything to hit.
Swing and a miss. Chased.
Well, Rick, that was an incredible pitch. That was right on the outside corner, just painting the black. That was incredible.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Livermore Little League, number 8, Colin Johnston.
So we've reached the top of the 6th inning out here in Livermore. Leading off is the number 3 hitter for the host team, number 8, Colin Johnston.
Well, Rick, if they're going to do something, it's probably this inning. Here's your 3, 4, and 5 batters. By definition, your 3 best hitters in your team coming up right now for Livermore.
And they've seen, this is the 3rd time they've seen Mr. Jace Martinez. So Johnston flew out to center field his first time and then grounded out to short his second.
That was a sweet pitch. Boy, that looked like a fastball until about the last 5 feet before I got to the plate, and then it broke about 6 inches right off the end of the bat.
So now he's in the hole 0-2, Johnston is. Ball outside, counts 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Same pitch, Rick. On the second swinging strike was the third swinging strike. He threw the second pitch, second strike pitch, and he and the catcher saw that that could get him on the for strike 3, but they threw that one outside fastball to set up that nice little wrinkle he has. I know it's a slider or a curveball. It doesn't break very much, but it's extremely effective.
It's going to bring to the plate number 13, Jake Krakowski. Krakowski struck out in the second, grounded out to third base in the third. So his 3rd plate appearance. On deck for the host team is Carter March, who has yet to be retired today. Fouled off.
Boy, that's that off-speed little wrinkle that he has. He threw it on 2-0. This kid's a pitcher. I'm very impressed.
There's a ball outside, and the count is now 3-1. So Krakowski needs to do whatever he can to try to get on here and get March to the plate with runners on. It's a strike, and the count is 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
There's that off-speed pitch again, Rick. He comes back to it again and again and again, regardless of the count, and it's extremely effective. He has struck out the last 2 batters on the off-speed pitch.
So Carter March comes in to bat, who singled in the 2nd inning and doubled in the 4th inning. Ball's hit directly to the left fielder. It gets by him, and that's going to go all the way to the wall.
He may go for 3.
March is going to go for 3 here for sure. Slides in, and he's at third base with 2 outs. He's trying to get this crowd pumped up.
The left fielder just misjudged that ball, Rick. It looked like he had it, and then the ball dove a bit at the end and got right by him. And
what are you going to call that, Ed? How you score that one? At this level?
that's got to be a hit, Rick. I'll give him a hit.
That's a triple.
Yeah, we'll give it. Now Carter March finds himself at third base with 2 outs.
Nate Caney has come to the plate. Excuse me, there's another batter. Number 3, AJ Arante has come up to the plate for his first plate appearance. In a big spot here. Arante.
It's a real big spot to come in after being basically on the bench for the first 5 innings to jump in as a pinch hitter. The pros will tell you it's the toughest job in pro baseball is to be a pinch hitter.
Well, he hits a slow grounder to shortstop. He's going to beat that out, though. He's quickly behind 0-2, however.
He does not have the advantage of having seen the off-speed pitch that Martinez has been throwing, so we're probably going to see it right here.
Fouled off. Good cut.
And there it was. He barely got a piece of it. He saved his at bat. But Martinez is constantly pitching outside. And Livermore should know that, and they should be telling their coaches should be letting their players know they need to step into the pitch and hit the ball to right center. The right-handed batters try to hit the ball to right center because the ball is going outside.
That's a strike 3 called, and that's how the inning ends. Played 5.5 innings here in Livermore. Texas is ahead still, 2-0.
Score remains. Livermore Little League 0, Mid-City Little League 2. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for Mid-City Little League, number 5, Marcos Davila.
Back in Livermore in the bottom of the 6th inning with Texas leading 2-0. Leading off for Texas in the bottom of the 6th inning is Marcus Davila. Davila has flown out to left field and struck out. This is his 3rd plate appearance tonight. Second inning of work for Tanner Griffith, sorry. And he's quickly behind 2-0 to Davila. We want to thank everybody that's tuned in tonight. We have a huge crowd on hand. We have a lot of Texas supporters here, and I know that there's a lot of them watching from Midland, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. I know we've had a few technical difficulties along the way. We're trying to iron those out, and it's a ground ball up the middle. Davila, nice play by the shortstop, throws to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Alviar has played a great game at shortstop.
Number 18, Eli Price.
That brings to the plate number 18, Eli Price. Price is 1 for 2 in this game. He singled. Oh, excuse me. He's only had 1 plate appearance. He grounded out to second base. His replacement, Toby Delk, singled and scored in the 4th inning. That ball's fouled off.
And Tanner Griffin's just trying to get strikes in there to get his team back in the dugout to give him a shot at getting those 2 runs to tie this ball game up. In the meantime, the team from Mid-City is going to do their best to try to tack on a couple of runs this inning.
Ball's lifted foul out of play to the right side, and the count is 1-1.
Nice off-speed pitch on the outside corner.
Excuse me, it's 1-2.
Price did a nice job to foul that off.
That ball's fouled off to the right side again. Lights are starting to come on here at Max Bear Park. Ball's lifted to right field. That ball is going to be dropped where nobody's at. That's going to hit. No, it's not going to reach the fence, but Price is going to rumble into second base with a double.
And that was the old hit it where they ain't. That was perfectly placed between the right and center fielder. Price legged it out for a nice double. Put himself in scoring position with only one out.
Your batter, number 21, Josh Reed.
It's going to bring to the plate number 21, Josh Reed. Reed has struck out and walked tonight. One of the improvements we made to the field this year, Ed, was replacing all of the lights in the field. I'm not sure we're going to get a taste of that this evening before this game ends, unless it goes extra innings.
And it might, but you're right. I'm waiting for it to get a little later so we can see the full extent of the lights. It's been in the past, I think center field was not dark, but it wasn't as bright as it should be or could be, and I've been told the new lights will remedy that situation.
You know, it's interesting, on the first day, this is the 6th year we've been hosting this World Series, and typically the very first day, the Sunday when we have 4 games, they always run really, really long. Everybody's just kind of getting their feet wet. Players, coaches, umpires, us, committee, staff, everybody. And the games usually run really, really late. Today is the first year that we've run on time for the most part. And so we're really pleased. Today was a success as far as that goes.
I remember a couple years ago, I cannot remember if it was the first day or the second day when we had 4 games scheduled, but the 6 o'clock game got started somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Just very, very long and very deliberate games.
We've learned a lot since those days, how to speed them up a bit. That ball's lifted to left field, but that's going to be out of play. But as far as that goes this year, we couldn't be happier with the quickness of play, the level of play. It's all been great. So the count's 1-2 to Reed with a runner at second base and 1 out. Texas trying to tack on here a little bit. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good pitching by Griffin. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to bring to the plate the number 9 hitter, Dawson Bullard.
You know, I don't want to rub it in with our friends down in Mid-City Little League in Midland, Texas, but it's 73 degrees here in Livermore right now. And humidity is, as usual in California, quite low. It's an incredibly beautiful evening tonight.
So Bullard's up. He's grounded out to second base and grounded out to the pitcher. His 2 previous plate appearances. There's a base hit to center field. That might plate another one. Here comes a throw. They're gonna have a play at the plate here.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful play at the plate.
Umpire ruled he got underneath the tag, Rick. It looks like he did.
Yeah,
the tag was high.
I would-
like he went underneath. I think that was a good call.
I totally agree. He got under that tag.
The catcher doesn't like the call, but he couldn't see where the player was on the base. I think the player was on the base.
Yeah, it's whenever the ball reaches the catcher or any infielder prior to the runner sliding, it's always going to look like the call was blown. But if the tag is not down immediately, if they don't drop the glove right away, the runner has a good opportunity to slide under it, and I can tell you that that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, and those watching on live streaming, we can watch it again, and you can watch it. I don't know if you can watch slow motion. We can watch whatever camera angle he had, and maybe we'll be able to see for sure. But it looked like a pretty good call by the umpire from this standpoint.
Yep.
And we're right behind home plate, looking right down on the plate.
But what a great throw by the center fielder. I mean,
Absolutely.
And a great catch by the catcher and
Everything was right.
There's a looper into left field. They're going to run.
Another play at the plate.
Oh, they're going to throw it down to second. Safe at second as well. So the run scores. Would have been interesting if they let that ball go through, Ed. That might have been another play at the plate, huh?
Yeah, it might have been a little bit offline, but they had another shot for another really good throw. But again, that throw by the Center fielder, and I'm not sure who's out there right now, Rick. Is it Jason Krakowski still? I'm not sure, but that was an incredible throw from mid deep center field. He came in and caught the ball in one hop, made a nice crow hop, made a throw, one hop to the catcher, and the runner was going to be out, but the catcher could not get the tag down in time.
Right.
And kids are taught and should be taught, you don't go out and tag the base runner. You let the base runner slide into you and tag himself out.
Right.
So if you go after the base runner, you usually go out high rather than low, and that's what occurred here, and the base runner was ruled safe at the plate.
Right.
And now the Southwest Mid-City has tacked on one more run to make it a 4-0 lead, going it's still in the bottom of the sixth with 2 outs.
Yeah, I know the host team is going to be upset with these 2 calls that just occurred, but you know, from our perspective, they got under both tags. It's just sometimes that's the way it works out. So now this Mid-City Little League is now up 4-0. There's 2 outs and a runner at second base. And back-to-back hits have plated 2 runs here.
And you go back to the couple of mistakes that were made on defense by Livermore. Not only did it cost them 2 runs, a run in the third and a run in the fourth, but it cost their pitcher a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
And he could have been still in the game, possibly pitching.
So ground ball over to March at third base. It hits off his chest, and smartly, realizing that he's not going to have a play at first, does not make the attempt to throw over to first base, which could have possibly resulted in a wild throw and made the situation even worse. So there's 2 outs. It's not the end of the world for that to occur. So there's runners at first and second now. That ball's popped up. It's going to reach us behind the plate here.
That was a very mature play by Carter March at third base. You're right, Rick. You don't want to force a play, possibly one that could cost you the game, or cost the other team to get another run on you when you're down 4 runs late in the game.
That brings to the plate Jace Martinez. Martinez struck out in the first inning. He singled in the third and walked in the 5th. Ball's popped up to the right side and out of play. So the host team from Livermore is going to have to mount a pretty decent comeback in their top of the 7th inning to keep this game extended. I think they're capable of doing it.
Leading off the top of the 7th inning for Livermore Little League, number 14, Jack Davis.
All right, back in Livermore for the top of the 7th inning. And leading off for the host team is Jack Davis. Jack Davis got that 5th inning started for Livermore, where they ended up loading the bases with nobody out but couldn't score. He was the first batter to reach on a single.
Boy, that's two great pitches by Martinez to start off the at-bat. There's the little wrinkly throws, a cut or whatever for strike one, and then one right in the outside, right in the black for swinging strike two. Excellent job.
Here's the 0-2. Strike 3 called. The outside corner.
And he gets the pitcher's strike for strike 3. Excellent job. It just goes where you don't want to have a waste pitch on 0-2. You want a pitch that means something, and that pitch was probably off the plate a couple inches, but he got the call from the umpire because he's been throwing strikes. The umpire's looking to call strikes for him now.
That's going to bring to the plate Bennett Johnston. Johnston also singled in that 5th inning. There's a strike.
There's the cutter again. Cutter, slurve, curve, whatever. It's not a curve. It's some kind of quick, late breaking pitch that he has. It breaks about 5-6 inches. Beautiful pitch.
Swing, strike 2.
Followed up by the fastball on the paint. He's done the same thing, the two batters in a row. He's in a groove right now, Rick.
Johnson steps back in after stepping out and swinging a few. And here comes the 0-2. Ball outside. The 0-2 pitch, grounded back up the middle. Great play by Martinez. Throws him out. Stuck his glove down and stopped it, and the host team is down to their last out, Rick. Ed.
That was a very nice play. He couldn't help but catch that one. It was right back at him. Again, he took his time. He made a nice throw to first base. Rick, this is whether this goes past this bat or not. Again, this has been an incredible game tonight. This is the kind of game we all come out here and want to enjoy. Whoever wins, whoever loses, it's really been a very well played game overall.
Brings to the plate Andrew McKeever. McKeever singled in his only plate appearance in the 5th inning as well. He's down on the count 0-1.
And Jace Martinez is only at 81 pitches in 6 2/3 innings, so he's averaging about 12 pitches an inning at this level of ball. Again, incredible.
There's a ball. Count is 1-1.
He's only been in trouble that one inning when the 5th inning when the 7, 8, 9 batters started off with 2 line drive base hits and the bunt base hit. It's the only time he's really been challenged, and he came back with a strikeout and the ground ball double play. So other than that, he's been in control the whole time.
A swing and a miss. That's right. McKeever was the one that laid down that nice bunt, which loaded the bases with nobody out. And that really was the turning point in the game, Ed. You know, without being able to score in that situation, that really, really hurt the host team's chances.
You got it, Rick. I think if I'm the Midland team, I'm hoping they got bases loaded, nobody out. And hopefully we can squeeze out of this with only giving up 1 run and still maintaining the lead. But to get out of that inning and not giving up any runs, that was incredible. That was a real boost.
Ground ball foul. Yeah, it's because at the time the score was only 2-0 at that time, and there was a lot of anxiety, I think, around the ballpark that the momentum was swinging and things were going to change. But Texas did a good job of getting out of that. There's no doubt about that. That's ball 4, and so host team stays alive with 2 outs, and that's going to bring the top of the order up. And Drew Carty. Carty has flied out to second base, grounded out to second base, and struck out in this game.
Rick, I got to tell you, regardless of the score, everyone is still here. This is Little League baseball can turn at a moment's notice, and I'm really happy to see all the fans are still here watching the game.
There's a ground ball to second base, throws to second, and that's how the ball game ends. So the final score here tonight in a very, very well played game by both teams. Mid-City Little League Southwest Regional Champions 4, Livermore host team 0. Terrific ball game. Ed, thanks a lot for joining me again. We're going to see you tomorrow night as well.
I'll be here tomorrow. I think tomorrow afternoon, Rick.
Yep,
Regardless, I'll be here.
3 o'clock game.
Yep.
And everybody, I hope you enjoyed our live stream broadcast tonight, especially down in Texas. I hope a lot of people were tuning in to watch your boys beat the host team 4-0 in an excellently played game. Folks, we'll see you again tomorrow. We've got 2 more live stream broadcasts to bring to you tomorrow at 3 and 6 o'clock. Don't recall the teams at this point, but we'll be back. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll talk again tomorrow. Good night.
Thanks, everyone. Good night now.